Hey, what's up? It's JJ Lonely Bull in Asia, Sunday morning here in Bangkok, Thailand. And glad you could join this morning. We got a lot to cover today. We're going to talk about the differences, in my opinion, between Bangkok and BGC, where I moved from and lived for almost 3 years there. But we'll wait till a few more people get on board, and then we'll start the topic. And glad you can join me. And it's Sunday morning where I'm at. I don't know. Let me know where you're watching from and what time it is there. But I've got my morning coffee. This is cup number 3. I usually just do 2, but since I'm doing the live stream, I got up early. I usually get up around 5, so I had 2 cups of coffee. But I need another one for the stream. I need to keep wetting my whistle, so made me another cup of coffee. Let's see who's on board right now. Let's see. John Bevilacqua. I hope I got that right. I think I got it right the last time. Hope I get it right again. So, John, you're here. You were on early. Thanks for coming in and watching. Wild Bill from Arizona. Thanks for watching. Let me see. So it's probably about, what, 7 or 6 Saturday night, your time. Is that right? Something like that, yeah. So for those of you that are familiar with my channel, I moved here to Southeast Asia back in 2022, beginning of 2022, and I've been traveling out here since 2015. Lived in Bonifacio Global City, BGC, in Metro Manila for almost 3 years. Left there in October of last year, moved here to Bangkok. So I know I get a lot of questions. What's it like between BGC and Bangkok? So we're going to cover some of those. Some of the topics we'll cover: cost of living and housing, transportation, also food, nightlife, culture, expat life. We can talk about job opportunities, but since I'm retired, I really don't delve into that too much. So I'm not the expert. And then just basic lifestyle, safety, and overall vibe, and whatever else is on your mind. If you have questions about any of this, feel free to comment in the chat. If you have a question about anything else, put it in the chat. I'd love to answer the questions. This is all about you. I do this because of you guys, because you told me last week you wanted me to keep doing this and do it weekly. So I'm going to try weekly, see how we do. Now, I'm not a huge YouTuber. I'm not a huge channel, so I don't get the 100, 200, 300 people watching these live streams, but I get a dozen, and that's good. And I like that. And even if it was just one person, I would still talk to you, because that's kind of how I am. So anyway, so we got Bill from Arizona. We got a few people on board. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about BGC first of all. So since I lived there for almost 3 years, I know it pretty well. I love it. I love BGC. The thing I love about BGC is its convenience. You can walk anywhere. You don't need to, unless it's raining or it's too hot to walk, but you don't really need to take a taxi or grab or anything like that. You can pretty much walk from one end of BGC to the other in about 20 minutes. And that's what I really liked about it. It's very convenient. It's got a lot of Western amenities, which is what I like. I call it a bubble. It's kind of a westernized bubble within Metro Manila, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But it's modern. It's kind of high priced for the Philippines. So if someone is thinking about moving to the Philippines or living in the Philippines and they're on a stricter budget, BGC might not be ideal for you. I usually suggest, if you have a steady income of at least $2,000 a month, you can probably live anywhere in the Philippines and anywhere in Thailand for that matter. But BGC in particular, my monthly expenses averaged around $1,700 a month US. So, and I had a high-rise condo, I think 57 square meters, something like that. Um, it was 600, a little over $600 a month I was paying, and then less than 100 a month for utilities. That was electric and water, and Wi-Fi. And let's see, just your basic, groceries and things like that added up to about 1,700. So after you take away your cost of housing, your rental, and your utilities, that's about 700 a month on average. So you got about 1,000. I had about 1,000 left over in expenses, and that went to groceries, any transportation if I left BGC and I had to go if I went to Manila or Makati or any of those places, and I needed to get a grab or a taxi or whatever. That expense was in that. Also going out to eat and going out for drinks with friends or dates or whatever the case may be, just that general entertainment. That's about $1,000 in there. So that's not bad, really. I don't think. I think I did pretty well living on 1,700 a month. Now I could have really overdone it and gone out to eat, every night, gone out drinking every night, gone to the clubs every night in BGC or Makati or whatever, and done that lifestyle. And it would have cost me a lot more. I mean, we're talking probably at least 500 a month more. So 2,500 a month to enjoy that kind of lifestyle. Now, that's not real. I'm not a club kind of guy, so I'm kind of a boring person, really. I like to go out and have a couple beers with friends and go out with my girl for dinner, a couple of times a week. But we mainly just cooked at home when I was living there. I had a live-in girlfriend. We cooked at home. She cooked at home, I should say. And we just had a nice, boring couple lifestyle where we went out every once in a while and, went for walks and, but we didn't spend a lot of money. So 1,700, I would say minimum. And anything above that is pretty good. Here in Bangkok, hi, JJ and Wendy. Hi, Wendy. I met Wendy yesterday morning for coffee. She's hopefully a new subscriber. She's been watching my videos, but hasn't. She confessed yesterday she hadn't subscribed yet. So hopefully, Wendy, you'll subscribe. But we met yesterday. She's from Malaysia, and she was traveling through Bangkok on her way to Cambodia, to, I believe, Siem Reap. So we messaged each other and were able to meet for coffee, had a coffee, and got to meet her. A really nice, sweet person, and had a really good conversation with her. So safe travels. I know she's waiting for her train. She's taking the train, I believe, to Cambodia. Train or bus. But anyway, so she's waiting for that. So she said she would tune in until her bus arrives. So you just subscribed. Good for you. Thank you so much. That's fun. So yeah, she's a super sweet person, and wish you safe travel. So anyway, so Bangkok, I was on Geo in the Philippines live stream earlier this morning. Excuse me, I got a little tickle in my throat. Anyway, and I mentioned that my monthly budget here in Bangkok for the month of May, which isn't over yet, but I figured out that this is what it's going to be, was about just over $1,400 US. So I'm actually saving money. Now, I haven't really gone out much. I went out twice and met some friends. I've gone out more than that. I've gone out and had some Thai food and some cheap stuff, but I would say significant times I went out where the cost was, I would say, significant compared to what I usually spend. And that was for dinner and drinks. And one time I spent about $25, and the other time was about $32. That was for dinner and beers with some buddies of mine. And so that was my significant cost of going out a couple of times over the almost a month I've been here now. The other times, so what I did was when I got here, I got 10,000 baht cash, which is about a little over $300 US. So I use that for my daily expenses. So if I go to, if I go outside and there's the chicken lady, and she's the vendor right outside my condo, I'll get some fried chicken from her a couple of times a week. It's really, really good and super cheap. I'll just pay cash for that. Or if I go into a 7-Eleven, or if I go to, if I go to 39 Craft Coffee down at Prompong and I get breakfast there and coffee, that's under 200 baht. So I'll pay cash for all those. And the expenses, the bigger expenses, like the 2 times I went out and had dinner and drinks that were $25 and $32, I use my card. So I have that cash, that 10,000 cash, and I kind of budget that to get me through the month. And right now I got 4,500 baht left. And what is today? The 18th. So I've got about a week and a half, and that 4,500 baht should get me through on a day-to-day basis where, if I'm getting some Thai food at a street vendor, or if I'm getting a coffee or something like that, that will get me through that. And then any additional expenses, if I go out to eat or spend a lot more money, that I'll use my card for that. So, but right now we're looking at about a little over $1,400 total. That includes my rent, my utilities, the cost for my groceries. I went grocery shopping and I put that on the card. That was about $35, $32, something like that. Putting money on my Rabbit card for my BTS transportation. I put 1,000 baht on that. So that's about $30, $33, something like that. So all those things came out of my cash that I had, the Rabbit card and the daily expenses. So all in all, about $1,400 is what I'm spending for this month. Now, next month will be a little higher because I'm traveling to Hua Hin for a week, the first week in June. And then later in June, I'm traveling up to Chiang Mai. So I'll have some additional expenses there. But on average, I would say between 14 and 1,500 is a good figure for me. Now I may, once my buddies are back here, I may start going out a little more often than, once every week or something like that. In fact, I've got my buddy Aussie Bob. Him and I might be meeting up later this afternoon for a beer or two, depending on what his schedule is like. So anyway, but that's kind of my budget. So if you're talking kind of comparing apples to apples between BGC and Bangkok, I think, in my personal experience, Bangkok's a little cheaper than BGC. That's just my personal experience. So, like I said, though, I live on a pretty basic budget. So, all right, Wendy's, she's traveling by van. Okay, that's good. You'll have nice AC and all that. So, let's see. My opinion to hear your feedback. I don't think people will find as quality of life as you on 1,700 moving there with no experience. I don't think people can land in BGC expecting less than 2,000. Yeah, I agree. I agree because I know I spent more when I first moved there because I was working at the time and I was making a really good US salary. So I was living a different lifestyle the first year I was there than after I retired. My income went down drastically once I retired. So I got to understand and learn how to live on that 1,700. But I definitely would say 2,000 is minimum, at least to start. I would also say when you first move anywhere to another country, and specifically, Thailand or the Philippines, and you're planning on staying there long term, in other words, living there, and you're not just visiting or on vacation, try not to live like you're on vacation because that can be real detrimental to your budget. Because if you live like you're on holiday, you're going to spend like you're on holiday. And if you're on a monthly income, like say Social Security or a pension where you get paid once a month, you're going to find out you're going to run out of money before that month comes, before that pay comes. And so you're going to really struggle that last week or week and a half of the month. So you have to be aware of that and just understand that you need to, if you're planning on living here, live like you would if you were living at home. Don't live like you're on vacation. But good advice, Rigby. I realized looking at condos, half the people in BGC piled 2 to 3 roommates in small condos. The younger foreigner backpackers lifestyle can be done for 709. Oh, that's specific. To 1,000 a month in BGC. Yeah, that's weird. I've never heard about that, but I'm sure it probably happens. It's like living in a hostel, but you want to live in a nice area like BGC. So I guess you can double and triple up people living in a condo. So I couldn't do that. I like my alone time too much. When I was in college, I had roommates, and it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. What do you pay for Wi-Fi internet? Okay, Ron. So I have free Wi-Fi here, and it's high speed. It's 500 megabytes per second upload and download. When I was living in Da Nang, Vietnam for those 3 months, I also had high speed Wi-Fi for free. In BGC, I paid I think 1,799 pesos for high speed. And so that comes to about $34 or $32, something around that. So it's not bad. I mean, I don't think the cost, to me, compared to the West or the US, the cost for your Wi-Fi is relatively cheap. The cost for your phone's relatively cheap. The cost for your electricity is relatively cheap. Now, if you are one of those that run your AC constantly, 24/7, you're going to pay a lot of money for your electricity bill. I don't generally run my AC that much. I'm running it right now because I'm in when I'm close to my computer and that, it gets kind of warm, I guess. So, but I like it nice and cool when I'm talking to you guys. So, but generally speaking, I run the fan. These are both inverter ACs. So you're going to have cheaper electric bills to begin with. Generally, I just run the fan on these. I don't run the AC. Once in a while, I'll kick on the AC if it gets a little warm in the afternoon. But like I said, I generally spend, it's less than less than $100 US a month for all my utilities. That's when I was in BGC, it was electric, water, and Wi-Fi. Here, it's just electric and water. So I'll let you know at the end of this month what my utility bill is, because I haven't been here a full month for a while. So I'll let you know when the utility bill comes, what it is, because I've been running the AC a little more than I usually do, but we'll see how it goes. I hope that answered your question. So hello, Greg. I will get $1,600 a month, not looking to dating and not a drinker, looking for a 1-bedroom condo and needed to be close to a mall with a food court, thinking more of the Philippines, but open. Okay, so now you can $1,600 a month. You can definitely get by if you're not planning on dating, or you're not a drinker, if you're not a partier. And you can go to some of these places like Rigby's right now. He's in Bacolod, just like Geo is. And I think you can probably get fairly decent pricing there. I'm not sure though. Iloilo would be another option. If you want to live in Metro Manila, you might, the 1,600 might be a struggle for you. Might be a little bit of a struggle, but you could do it. You just might have to live more like a local. That's what I would say. So, Ron, cheaper than what we pay in Vancouver, Canada. Yeah, I'm sure. So I moved from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I was living in a little townhouse in Tulsa. Really nice. I mean, two-story, 2-bedroom, a little bigger than what my condo was in BGC, and I was paying $14.50 a month just for the rent, and that didn't include the utilities or the Wi-Fi or any of that. So yeah, $14.50, and that's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That was back in the end of 2021, but it's a nice place, but expensive. Yeah. Philippines is best for dating. If not dating, go to Vietnam or Thailand for less expensive living and higher quality of life. Yes, I would agree. If you're planning on coming to Southeast Asia and your main goal is dating, Philippines is probably your best bet. Um, it's easier. In other words, it's easier to date in the Philippines. It's easier to find a girlfriend. Thailand. So in the Philippines, it's they don't care about the age gap as much as anywhere else. So you can be an older expat and date a young, beautiful Filipina, and nobody really says anything about it. Now they may get some chismis or some meritus gossip, chicka chicka, from other Filipinas, uh, if they're seeing you walking hand in hand with a young Filipina, they may have that gossip. But in general, nobody really cares. It's kind of a thing there, but it's easier to date, easier to find a girlfriend. In Thailand, they are a little slower. The age gap isn't as great, so you're not going to be a 65-year-old expat and date a 20-year-old Thai girl. It's probably not going to happen unless there's an exchange, uh, um, a pay for play type of thing, or a transactional. It's like, yeah, you can be my sugar daddy, I'll be your sugar girl. And if you're paying high dollar to keep a girlfriend, is that really a girlfriend? That would be my question. So, but if you're 65 and you want to find a 35-year-old, or between 30 and 40, you can find a beautiful Thai girl here that's in that age range that looks younger. I mean, I've seen 35-year-old Thai girls that look like they're 22, um, and they're beautiful and they age really well here. So you can find that here if that's okay, but it takes a little longer. It's more of a process. It's harder to get their trust. It's harder to get to that girlfriend boyfriend stage. You can date, but relationships take a little longer. And then I would say in Vietnam, it's even longer still. Basically, they want to make sure you're actually living there. They're not interested. They're not interested in a holiday boyfriend at all. So they want to make sure you're living there, you're full time there, and until you can prove that, they're probably not going to even go on a second date with you, let alone become your girlfriend or in a relationship. Philippines is different. They date you with the hope that you're going to stay after you become their boyfriend. They're like they'll date you right up front. So so Rigby's right as far as the dating scene is goes. Philippines is the best. But if you're looking for quality built condos or apartments or housing, probably Thailand's the best bet, and you're going to get more bang for your buck. Now, I'm paying $375 or $380 a month here. It's 12,500 baht, so whatever the exchange rate is at the time. So that's what I pay for my condo here. It's a little smaller than what I was paying in the Philippines, but it's nicer. The amenities are nicer. It's got a really nice infinity pool. It's got a really nice gym. It's got a really nice co-working space. It's got a coffee shop downstairs. And they just installed a 7-Eleven machine right outside the door. So that's convenient. If you know anything about 7-Elevens in Thailand, you'll know that it's awesome. 7-Elevens are so much different here than they are in the West. So but it's got all the amenities here, and it's right off the MRT yellow line, the monorail. So it's super convenient, super close. So yeah, I think it's about 35 square meters. So it's small. And my plan is I got a 1-year lease. So end of October, it's done. And I'm thinking I'll probably move at that point and get something bigger. Um, my original thought was get something small here, pay a little less, because then I can get something in Vietnam and keep those two places at the same time and pay about the same amount as I would if I was still in BGC. And then I can just travel back and forth. I don't need to carry a lot of luggage with me. I'll have stuff there and have stuff here. But after being in Vietnam and Da Nang for 3 months, I realized that it's so cheap to find a hotel or get another apartment. Um, it's so cheap in Da Nang right now. I mean, I can get a really nice hotel, a really nice apartment for like $12 a day. So it didn't make any sense to me to keep a lease there when I could just go when I'm ready to go back. I can get something when I go. So that's kind of how my thought process is. So when my lease is up here later this fall, I'll probably move. I might move closer down on Sukhumvit, closer to the central part of the area. That way I'm closer to the action, so to speak. So anyway, so let's talk a little bit about. So we talked about cost of living, we talked about housing, transportation. So it really doesn't compare. Now BGC, obviously, you can walk everywhere, but if you want to go outside BGC, unless you're one of those guys that love to walk for hours, you're going to have to get a Grab or a taxi, and that is very problematic in Metro Manila because there just doesn't seem to be a lot of Grabs available or a lot of taxis available. So depending on the day of the week and time of day, you could wait a long time before you get your Grab or your taxi. They could get canceled on you. You think you got one coming and then they cancel because they find something that's closer that they don't have to drive as far. Because the farther they drive, the less opportunity they have of picking up the next fare. And especially if they go to a location where there's nothing around them that they can pick up a fare. So it's really hard. In Thailand, in Bangkok, there's a lot more Grabs available. They've got Bolt also. Now I know BGC and Manila's got Joyride, which is another option. But the taxis are there. You've got the tuk-tuks. You've got the motorbikes, and you've got the motorbikes in Metro Manila as well. But you've got the train system here in Bangkok, which is just head and shoulders above anything Manila has or anything in the Philippines. They've got this excellent train system, BTS, which is the Sky Rail, and they've got the MRT, which is basically the subway, although they do have a couple of MRT lines that are above ground. Those are the monorails, but they're all over Bangkok. So it's super easy to get around. So when you're comparing transportation, Bangkok wins hands down. Food, I just love Thai food. Now, if you like Western food, BGC is a great place to be because you can get pretty much any Western food you want in BGC without any issues. And you can pay as little as you want, well, almost as little as you want, or as much as you want for these Western foods. So if you like Western food, meaning American, Mexican food, which is okay in BGC, okay in Manila, Italian food, they've got all the chain franchise restaurants there, a lot of them. They got the Olive Garden, they've got Italiani's, they got Shake Shack, all the fast foods, Texas Roadhouse. What else? They got it all there in BGC. So if you like those Western franchise restaurants, you're gonna like BGC. They don't have a lot of that here in Bangkok. Not a lot of the franchise restaurants. They do, though, have a lot of Western restaurants, Western style restaurants, but they're more locally owned by foreigners that bring their style of food to Bangkok. So that's the neat thing about Bangkok. They've got all that here. Thai food, though, is hands down better than Filipino food, in my opinion. I may have dissenting opinions on the chat, but in my opinion, Thai food is better than Filipino food. Thai food is better than any Asian food, in my opinion. But you can get any Asian food here. You can get any Asian food in BGC. You can pay as little as you want or as much as you want in Bangkok or in BGC. So it just kind of depends on what your preference is for food. But for me, I like Thai food, so I would pick Thailand over the Philippines. Nightlife, you can get, there's really good nightlife if you like clubs and that sort of thing. BGC and Makati, which is right next to BGC, great areas to be in. Here in Bangkok, you've got all of that too. So I would say that's probably a toss up. I'm not an expert though, but if you like, so when I say nightlife, if you're talking adult entertainment, like a walking street type of thing, I would say Bangkok probably beats Metro Manila. There's areas Metro Manila that have that, but I just think it's better in Bangkok. Although I would never do that, but for those of you that do, I mean, I like going there. I like going there and checking things out and people watch and flirting with the waitresses and that sort of thing. But you can get any of that in Bangkok. So, and the culture's neat here. You got that Buddhist culture that's really cool. So I think that's kind of a neat thing where everybody greets you with this swadika or swadikap, which is kind of a neat thing. Now, the friendliness, Thai people are super friendly. If you talk to them, especially if you can say something in Thai, they just light up. They're like, oh, wow, this guy, he knows Thai, or at least he's giving it a try. Filipino people are super friendly. They go out of their way to say hello. So the cultures are definitely good. Let's see what else we got here. BGC does not allow trikes or jeepneys, no train. It's a higher class bubble. You stay within. It's 30 to 45 minutes for nearby Grab drivers in Makati to reach you. Yeah, it is. It's tough to get a Grab. Yeah, no trikes. You can go around the trikes and the jeepneys. You can go around the outside of BGC. Like you can go up McKinley. Jeepneys go up McKinley and drop off at Market. Then they go around the north end and they'll drop you off at the north end of BGC, but you can't go through BGC. They don't allow it, which is kind of nice. I like that. Let's see what else. Have you tried Laos? I spent 5 years in Laos with lots of time in Bangkok and Chiang Mai, with shorter stays in Hong Kong. I have never been to Laos. I hear that the Lao people are super nice, super friendly. I'm going to Cambodia in July, end of July, or first part of August. So I will be going to Cambodia for the first time, but I've never been to Laos. But why not, right? It's just a quick trip. And I've never been to Hong Kong either. I've been up to Chiang Mai. Chiang Mai's neat. I'm going up there next month, middle of next month. But I've never been to Hong Kong. My first Filipino girlfriend back in 2015, she was an OFW in Hong Kong. So I was always planning on going to visit her, but then we broke up. So never happened. So the number one reason younger expats pick Bangkok is legalized brownies, not available in BGC. Yeah, I suppose you're right. That's another thing I don't imbibe. I don't do the marijuana. I don't do the chewables or the brownies. I guess I'm just a boring person, but I do like my beer. I'll do my share of drinking beer, and that's why I get the big beer belly. Like I'll go a week without drinking any beer, and I'll look and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm losing my gut. And then I'll spend one night and I have 3 beers, And the next morning I got my gut back. It's like, oh my God, I just can't get rid of this. But I got, this is a brand new shirt I got. I was at the market yesterday down by, where was it? I can't remember. But anyway, a friend of mine, Ern, who has her own YouTube channel, Ern Lucky Girl. In fact, my last video, her and I she was teaching us the Thai language, some basic phrases and sentences. But anyway, she opened up her own coffee shop. So I went and visited her. I promised I'd visit her yesterday. So I went down and visited her. And it's right by this little mall, kind of like almost like a Divisoria, if you're familiar with Metro Manila, almost like that. So after I got a really good latte from her, after I left, I walked through this little mall and found this place that were selling these shirts. And I got two of them. I got a white one and a black one. And they were 80 baht each. So I spent less than $5 and I got two really nice shirts. So I was pretty happy with the turnout. I was pretty happy with my little shopping spree. James, which do you like better, BGC or Bangkok? Well, I like Bangkok better. I just think there's something about the city. It's just different than anywhere else I've ever been. And it's a lot bigger. So I guess when you're trying to compare the two, it's kind of not fair because BGC is such a small area and Bangkok is huge. So it's hard to compare in that respect, but I just love Bangkok. I just love the food. I just love the people. I love the vibe. I love being able to get around. I love the landscape. I mean, there's got so many neat, huge parks. So a lot of greenery. I don't know if you've seen my videos where I'm at Benjikiti Park or even Benjisiri, but they got Lumpini Park and they've got tons of parks around here. But it's really neat to see this view of this beautiful park with this large lake, and then the view of the skyscrapers in the background, the modern buildings in the background is just kind of a neat thing. I grew up on the farm. I lived on the farm for a little bit of my youth, but I've become a city boy since I moved out here. I've really become a city boy. So, but I hope that answers BGC. Nothing against BGC, James. I love BGC. I lived there for 3 years, and I wouldn't change anything about living there. I wouldn't change any of it. But I just needed a change. It got too small for me. So I needed to make a change. I'd been traveling to Thailand and Bangkok for, about 2.5 years at the time. So I thought, I really love Bangkok. And every time I leave, I miss it and I want to come back. So that's why I decided to move here. So far, so good. I haven't decided yet as far as my long-term, as far as getting a different visa. Right now, I'm on the tourist visa. So I'll be leaving. My visa expires. I'll be getting an extension. So I got 60 days visa free, and then I'll get a 30-day extension. So that'll get me through the end of July. So May, June, and July. And then I'm going to Cambodia with a buddy at the end of July or first of August. And that'll be my border run. And then I'll come back and I'll get my 60 days again. At that time, I'll probably make a decision on what to do as far as long-term. I'm leaning toward getting a retirement visa here. I was looking into, and I need to do some more research because I got an email from a Thai language school here in Bangkok saying I can get an education visa and learn Thai language and get that for 14, I think it's 14 months total. Well, I'd always heard that if you're over 50, you can't get an education visa. So I asked that, and she responded and says, no, you can get one. So I need to do some more research. So I don't want to put anything out there that you can or you can't until I find out for sure, because if that's the case, I'll do a 1-year education visa if I can and learn the Thai language. He says, I want to learn the Thai language anyway. So why not do it on a visa if I can? And just kind of kill two birds with one stone. And then, once that visa is expired, then I'll look into the retirement visa. But right now, I don't know. I haven't heard. I have to do more research because I'm hearing both. I'm hearing, no, you can't do it because if you're over 50, you can't get an education visa. And then this lady at the Thai language school, which is certified through immigration, because I checked, she said you can. So I've got to schedule a time to go visit her at the school and really get into the details and find out what's going on. So that's my plan. So let's see what else. Job opportunities. Like I said, I'm retired, so I really don't delve into that now. From what I understand, Thailand's got a pretty good digital nomad visa here. The Philippines has just started one. I don't know what the specifics are about that. So if you're younger and you're watching my live stream right now and you're looking at maybe becoming a digital nomad, look into both places because I know Thailand's is pretty decent. I'm not sure about the Philippines. I don't know what their situation is as far as that. Yeah, well, that ship has sailed, Rigby. In fact, I can't even see the ship anymore. That's how far it's sailed. So, yeah, that's what everything I read online is like, if you're over 50, you can't get an education visa for Thailand. But this lady tells me she can do it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll go visit her this week probably, or this coming week. But what else is on your mind, guys? We can talk a little bit more about expat life here. Expat life in BGC is, I had a small group of friends, really good friends there, and I still do. That we would see each other a couple of times a week. We'd go out. When I was living in BGC, the last year and a half, almost 2 years, I had a girlfriend, a steady girlfriend. The first year, probably a year and a half I lived there, I dated around quite a bit. And I had some girlfriends, but they didn't last. It wasn't a long-term type thing. I had steady girlfriends for, a month or 2 months or 3 months. But then whatever the case may be, we would end up, breaking up or whatever the case. And I would go back to dating some more. But then I met a girl that I really, really liked, and we had a really good relationship for almost 2 years. And she actually lived with me. She moved in when I moved into my new condo the year before I moved, back in November of 2023. She moved in with me. She worked during the day. So the expat life was nice because I had my alone time during the day when she worked, so I can do my YouTube stuff, or, if I needed to, go meet a friend somewhere, we could go meet somewhere for, lunch or whatever. And then she'd be home in the evening, and we'd have our evenings together, and then we'd have the weekends together. And then, a couple of nights a week on Tuesdays, we do a Taco Tuesday with my buddies. And then Friday happy hour, we do Friday happy hour with my buds. So I had those nights that were for me and my guy friends, my buddies. And then the rest of the time was with my girl. And then during the day, it was my free time that I could do my YouTube or just kind of chill or whatever. So that was a nice situation for me. I really liked that situation. That expat life that I had. But all good things come to an end, I guess. So I just felt that with my relationship, we were looking at two different goals. And so I just decided to take a break. And Bangkok was kind of calling my name, and I needed that new venue. I needed that new change of scenery. So that's why I left. But BGC expat life is good as long as you don't get into that. And I would say this anywhere, not just BGC, but anywhere. Don't get into that habit of hanging out at the bar with the same guys every night, because that can be really tough. You slip into a vice that you don't want to slip into. So just be aware of that. But it's the same in Bangkok. Expat life is good. I've got a couple of really good friends here, and that see them, once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week. The other times I'm just kind of doing my thing with YouTube, so my YouTube schedule is basically I'll just, in the mornings when I'm having my coffee, I'll try to come up with ideas. I'll answer emails or comments from my YouTube channel. When I come up with a good idea, I write it down. I've got a notebook full of ideas. And then I'll just kind of come up with an idea for a title and a thumbnail. And then the next day usually I'll go out and videotape or shoot it, or I'll do it in here or whatever. And then the day after that, I'll edit, and then I'll post it the day after that. So I try to get 2 out a day. So that keeps me pretty busy. And then if I have subscribers that are in the area that want to meet, I love to meet new subscribers. So that's always cool. And then, of course, my buddies, a couple of times a week we'll meet for, something to eat or have a couple of beers or whatever the case. So that's kind of my schedule right now. So I'm not dating right now. So, that I've put that on hold. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Never know. You never know what's going to happen. Anyway, so that's kind of how expat life is for me. Now, there's lots of things to do in Bangkok. There's 2 Muay Thai stadiums. There's a big soccer or football, they call it here, stadium. Here in Thailand, they've got a team. So lots of live music venues. The music scene, the live music scene is incredible here. I met a guy briefly. He's from Canada. I met him at O'Shea's the other day. It was last Sunday, I think it was. And he was on his way to, what was it, a concert? Motley Crue. Motley Crue was playing last Sunday here. And he got a ticket. And the ticket only cost him like $25 US. Something like that. Something incredibly low. I'm thinking, oh, that'd been kind of cool to go to a Motley Crue concert. I was at a Motley Crue concert back in '91 when I was working in radio, and that was pretty wild. I'm not a huge Motley Crue fan, but I'm just saying that there's live entertainment here, not just local bands and local venues, but you got bigger names that come here too. You got huge names that'll come here, but the tickets are crazy expensive. Same with the Philippines. If you want to go see, I think Bryan Adams played in Manila, and I think the lowest price ticket was like over $200. It's like, for Bryan Adams. Now, maybe in 1986 I would have paid $200 for, because he was huge back then. But I can't see me paying $200 to see a 75-year-old Bryan Adams up on stage playing the summer of '69. You have to rename it the Summer of Viagra or something like that. So anyway, but in Bangkok, it's kind of cheap, I think. So, and you can go to a Muay Thai event for, $10, $12, $15. I don't know what the soccer team, I don't know what the cost is for that, but I think it's fairly affordable. So financially free at 50. Have you considered the 5-year DTV visa? I've looked into it, but it seems like there's something that I don't qualify for. I think it might be the minimum income. I think you have to. I don't know. I'll have to look into that again. My head is spinning with all these visa options, and I can't keep track of which ones were which. I'm going to have to go through an agent. I think that's what I'm going to have to do to get it done right. I'll pay the little extra to go through an agency. But I did look into it, but I can't remember the specifics. So, Philip, to sign a lease on a condo, do you need to show them your Social Security or pension monthly income? No, you just have to have the money, and you have to. They have to make a copy of your passport. So, what they'll do is there's a form that most condo owners or most condo units will fill out for you and send to immigration. That will, what they'll do is they'll contact immigration and let them know where you're staying, where you're living. And then every time, if you have a retirement visa, every time you leave the country and you come back, you have to fill out that form again. But my condo did that for me. They sent that information in for me. So all I needed to do was give them a copy of my passport, and then I did bank transfer. I did it through Wise Transfer, and I just transferred the money from my account to their account. It's super simple, easy peasy. But yeah, that's how they do it here. They don't look at your Social Security. They don't look at your income. They just want to make sure you pay, but you got to pay deposit. And it's usually 2 months in deposit. So like it's such a small amount for me. I was talking to a friend the other day, talking about wanting to move to a bigger place. And I found this really nice place, but it's like, it's not going to be available in October. He goes, why don't you just leave your condo now? I mean, he goes, you're only going to be out that 2-month deposit. And, I'm thinking, okay, so that's only, that's $600, $650. I guess that's not too bad. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm a cheapo. So, but, what I did in BGC was when I got to the end of my lease, they let me use 1 month deposit for my last month rent. So I may do that so I can get out of here in September rather than at the end of October. But we'll see what happens. I got a deposit coming back from BGC here shortly when I was there for the 3 months. But I only stayed for 2, so I'll get that back. I'm just waiting for they're waiting for the utility bills to get done, and then they'll send me that deposit. So, but anyway, yeah, I hope that answers your question, Philip. And we got 23. I'm stoked, man. I think that's the high for me. I see all these other vloggers that do these live streams, and they're like, I have 200 people. It's like, oh my God. I'm lucky to get a dozen, but 23, that's good. So hit that thumbs up, guys. I appreciate that. I asked Gio today on his live stream. It's like, how do you do those super chat goals? I don't know how to send any of that stuff up. So, anyway, what other questions do you have? Let me see. What else do we need to talk about? Safety. Okay, let's talk a little bit about safety. BGC is super safe. It's that, you walk around, you see security guards pretty much everywhere. So if don't feel intimidated. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, why are these guards everywhere? I feel like I'm in a, military state. Don't feel that way. Yeah, they're friendly. To be honest, I don't know what they would do if something bad happened. I don't know if they would turn and run or what. I don't even know if some of the shotguns they have even work. But to me, it gives me that little sense of security, whether it's valid or not. I kind of like it. I always talk to the security guys when I walk by. I always say hello, try to be respectful. But it is super safe. They try to keep the bad element out of BGC. Now I have noticed in the last few months that I lived there that some of that seedier element was creeping in, and it just kind of goes with the territory. People that are scammers are going to go where the money is, and that's BGC is where the money is. So just goes to show that that's where they'll be. So you just have to be aware of that. Keep your head on a swivel. Be aware of your surroundings, and you're fine. Here in Bangkok, I have no problems. I don't really worry. I've got my bag, my gear bag. I've forgotten that 3 times in Bangkok, and each time I go back there to where I left it, and it's been there. The only thing I worry about are the expats or the foreigners. Those are the ones I worry about. I don't worry about the locals. They're super friendly, super nice, super honest. I'll go to, like yesterday, I went to Terminal 21 to the 5th floor and went to the food court. You get super cheap food at the food court there. In fact, I paid, I think it was 60 baht total for my food and drink. And I got a lot of food. I was stuffed when I was done, but I got there about 12:30 and it was like really busy. So I found a table that was open, which is very rare. So I put my stuff on it. I put my umbrella and my bag. I had my t-shirts, so I had a bag with that. I put that on the table. Then I went to find me something to eat, and I was probably gone for 10, 15 minutes. I came back and my stuff was there. No problems. I don't worry about that here in Bangkok or in Thailand. I would never do that in the West. I would never leave stuff in the US. I don't care where I am. It's just a different thing here. I totally trust the Filipino people to the most part, for the most part, and I totally trust the Thai people. It's the foreigners that I'm worried about. It's us foreigners. What area are you looking at for your new condo in Bangkok? Okay, so I'm looking down on Sukhumvit somewhere, probably anywhere from the Anut area down to Prompong. I don't really want to stay in Asok or Nana. That's just too much of a cluster for me. But I would go north of there. I would go to the Chitlom or the Plonchit areas that are really, really nice. I just have to look a little bit because the prices are going to be a little higher there. But probably those areas. Newton's nice because you got a huge Lotus store and a mall right there near the BTS. I would want to find something that's close to the BTS, like under 10-minute walk or closer to a BTS or a train. That would be my preference. But yeah, like Anut, Ekamai, Prakanan, where else? Tonglo or Prompong, probably any of the around those 5 stops, or farther north of Nana, where you get around the Plomchit area or the Chitlom area, which is close to Silom, which is a really nice area. So that would be where I would be looking probably, unless I get blown away by some place on the other side of the river that I can still relatively be close to some sort of train. Because you can get, if you're on the other side of the river, you can get something really nice. I was looking the other day, and there was a 2-bedroom, like 75 square meters, 2-bedroom. They call them duplexes here, but they're like lofts for like 25,000 baht, which is like $700. That's pretty good for 75 square meters. And it was really nice, decorated really nice. The only problem was it was on the other side of the river, and it's about a 15-minute walk to the nearest train station. So it's a little bit of a walk. Wouldn't be too bad, but if it's raining, it would be kind of rough to go about. So, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. If you guys are familiar with, let me see if I can bring a map up. I can show you maybe for those that aren't real familiar. Oops. If I could spell. All right, let's look. Give me a second, guys. Let me share my screen. Okay, let me see if I can make that bigger. Okay, now I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what's going on here. Okay, so I'll show you where I'm at right now. Where it says Samut Prakan, that's the district I live, right on the south end of Bangkok. So this is the Sukhumvit Green Line, and this is the stop I would make. Say I'm wrong. So I get off there, and I'd walk about a minute, all covered, to this MRT yellow line, and I take that one stop, and that gets me to here. Oh wait, I'm sorry, not here. Here, Tipawon, and my condo is literally right here. That's my condo. It's right in front of this one, so it's not shown on the map here, but it's right here. That's my condo, and I'll tell you a little bit about the neighborhood. So they're building a new condo right here. So eventually, if I stay here, my condo faces the east or southeast. That's going to be covered. My view will be covered by a new condo that's coming up, but I will be moving before that happens. So, but if you come down here, um, you cross the river and there's a big C store right here, which is a grocery store. It's not a big C store. It's a small big C store. So a little C. But you got that. And then you got a couple restaurants, really nice restaurants. There's a driver license place right here. There's a car wash here. There is a craft coffee, or not a craft coffee, I'm sorry, a Cafe Amazon right here. And then if you go across the street, so you go up and you cross the road here, and then down here, you've got a couple of 7-Elevens, and you've got some vendors, street vendors, and some other restaurants. You've got a barber shop here. I can get a haircut for 100 baht, which is under $3. So it's very local. It's not. I hope that's showing up on my. Yeah, is that okay? I hope you guys can see my cursor okay. Anyway, so it's very local. It's not big city. There's not a lot of buildings. There's no malls here, nothing like that. So that's where I live now. So back here, this is the green line, which is the Sukhumvit line. So this runs right along Sukhumvit Road, which is one of the more famous roads. So once I get on here, it's 10 stops to Phrom Phong, which is kind of where my hangout is. So what I'll do is I'll go, so there's Bering. There's a really neat outdoor market here on weekends that have live music and food and drink right here on Bering, which is really cool. A lot of locals there. And then you go to Bang Na, that's the next stop. And then after Bang Na, just keep going, Punawiti. And then this is Anut. So this is where the Big Lotus store is right here. So Anut, I would want to live somewhere from Anut on north. There's a big C right here too. And then you keep going on the green line up Sukhumvit, then you get Phrom Kanong, which would be another neat area to live. Then Tong Lo. I missed Ekamai. Ekamai's back there. And then you've got Phrom Phong. So I would want to live anywhere between Anut and Phrom Phong. and here's Benjasiri Park. And then I would skip living in a Sok area and Nana area. It's just too busy, just way too busy. But if you get across here, you have Plonchit, which is a really nice area. And then you have, I believe this is Chitlom. Yeah, Chitlom, which is also, so this would be another area I would love to live in if I could. So there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as far as where I want to live. So hope that answers your question. See where we're at here. JJ, that wasn't Motley Crue playing in Bangkok. It's Guns N' Roses. That's right. Guns N' Roses. I'm sorry. It was Guns N' Roses. I get Slash and Tommy Lee mixed up. Even though one plays drums, one plays guitar. But yeah, you're right. It was Guns N' Roses. My bad. But the dude I met, I can't think what his name is now, but I think he was from Canada, but he was on his way there with some buddies. So pretty cool. Yeah, Guns N' Roses. I've never seen them in concert. Okay, sorry if I missed your take on Thailand versus Philippine women. The only thing we talked about is the ease of dating a Thai compared to a Philippine. Philippines are a lot easier to date. You can date more of an age gap. So you can be an older expat and date a younger Filipina than you can with Thai girls. Those are the main things I talked about. I think, I don't know, as far as loyalty, I think, here's what I think. I think most Thai girls, I want to be careful because I'm speaking in generalities, I guess. But from the ones I've met here in Bangkok, most of them have jobs. Most of them work. Most of them are fairly well educated. And to be honest, most of them speak English. There's only a couple that didn't speak hardly any English that I've met. Most of them speak English. So they're not looking for somebody that will provide for them necessarily as far as financially. They're not going to ask you for money. There are those that will do that, but generally speaking, no, they won't. Filipinas, I would say a lot of them don't work, maybe not as educated. And again, I'm speaking in general terms. They are looking for an expat to take care of them financially, whereas a Thai girl or a Vietnamese girl, they're not necessarily looking for that. So I think that's where the big distinctions are as far as the finances and the age gap relationship. And the Thai girls and Vietnamese girls want to make sure that you are serious about living there and staying with them. So Edwin's checking in. Hello, Edwin from KCMO. Thanks for joining us. Oh, I used my cursor, but I'm sorry. My bad. BGC has 150 peso home delivery from all the grocery stores like Landers and Landmark. Have you tried getting a week's grocery delivery in Bangkok? Is that the same? I haven't tried. The 3 years I lived in BGC, I never did the grocery delivery either. Mainly because I liked going grocery shopping with my girlfriend at the time. We'd go to Market, do our grocery shopping, or we'd go to Guadalupe and go to the market there, the outdoor market, and get fresh vegetables and fruits and meat. So I never tried that. And I'm sure Grab delivery does the same thing here. I would have to check to see, but I'll bet they do. I mean, they've got Grab here as well as they have in the Philippines, so I don't see why they wouldn't. I'll research that for you, Rigby, and let you know. But I don't mind going and getting my own groceries. I don't want to get too lazy. If I never leave the condo, what's the point? But All right, so let's see. What else were we going to talk about? We talked about lifestyle. We talked about um, safety, overall vibe. So the vibe in BGC, and when I first moved there, uh, actually before I moved there, I didn't know anything about BGC, Bonifacio Global City in the Philippines. I knew nothing about it. I knew Manila. I knew I needed to move to a place for work that the English language was spoken well. So I thought the Philippines would be the best choice and Metro Manila would be the best choice. So what I did, I started watching YouTubers that lived over in the Philippines, and I watched them all. I watched Geo, I watched Old Dog, I watched um, Evan from the Savvy Expat, and he was the one. Geo was good for knowing what I needed to do before I moved here, what I needed to take care of, that sort of thing. Evan, the Savvy Expat, he really got me hooked on BGC because all his videos were about BGC at that time. So I was watching these videos and I was in awe. It's like, and he would walk around and show these videos of BGC during Christmas time and just showing the different restaurants. And it just looked amazing. It was like Beverly Hills of the Philippines. And he was talking about the cost of living not being so much. So I thought, this is really neat. And that's what hooked me. So Geo helped me know what to do to get here, and Evan talked me into basically moving to BGC. So that's, and when I got there, it's like it was all those expectations were met. It was exactly what he said it was. It was exactly what he showed on his videos. And it's like, this is the neatest city, quote unquote, city I've ever been in, I've ever lived in. It was so neat. And I just loved it. But it got too small for me. That's why I left. The vibe in Bangkok is just different than anywhere else I've been, and I've been in big cities. I've been in New York City. I've been in Dallas. I've been in Chicago. I've been in Singapore. I've been in Tokyo, Metro Manila, a lot of places, but nothing compares to Bangkok. Bangkok is just different. And I'll probably do a video on that. And I'll probably title it Bangkok is just different because it is. It's nothing like I've ever experienced before in my life. It's just an energy that, to me at least, my personal opinion, my humble opinion, it's just an energy and a vibe that's like nothing else I've imagined, and I just love it. And that's the vibe I get here. It's just a neat overall vibe, so that's why I like it. So let's see, where else are we at here? Hey, Gio, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Edwin says, Gio, great info on Bangkok. Otherwise, I would not even consider flying to Thailand. Oh, okay. Well, you got to experience it for yourself. I would come out here, and Gio gives this advice all the time. Come out here and stay for a while. Don't just decide to move somewhere until you've, get your foot on the ground, feet on the grass, so to speak, and just kind of live the life there for a while. And then just go to different places. Maybe Bangkok's not for you because it's a big city. Maybe you don't like big cities. Maybe you like beach life. Hua Hin is really laid back beach life. Pattaya is beach life, but a party beach life. Maybe you like Chiang Mai. It's kind of more in the mountains, kind of almost a college town where you've got neat little neighborhoods, neat little coffee shops and cafes, kind of like what Da Nang, Vietnam is, only without the beach. You just got to go. Just got to get up and go and visit these places, visit the Philippines, go to, I've been to Bacolod, I've been to Iloilo, I've been to Alona Beach, I've been to Leyte, to Bye Bye City into Tacloban. I've been up north of Manila. So you just got to visit these places and find out. Been to Dumaguete, not my thing. But just got to see if it's for you and just spend some time. That's what I would say. Don't go by what I would say. Don't go by what other YouTubers would say. You know, take their advice, watch their videos, get an idea, and then go find out for yourself. That's what I would do. So, but yeah, maybe fly to Thailand and see if you like it. There's a lot of other places in Thailand that I haven't been to yet, like Koh Samui or Phi Phi or other beach places that I have not been to in Thailand yet. So that I want to go. So we'll see. But that just the vibe overall is pretty cool. Bangkok, I love. And like I said, I'm going to Hua Hin next month, the first week of the month, and then I'm going up to Chiang Mai in the middle of the month. There's a couple of YouTube brothers that live up there. Their YouTube channel is about YouTube, about being successful on YouTube. So I really want to go there and meet them and maybe try to, put a bug in their ear a little bit and try to understand YouTube a little better, because I just don't get it. I don't understand YouTube at all. So Edwin says, "Hey, Gio." So yeah, we got 19 on board. So that's almost a record. Make sure you hit that like button. I'd appreciate that. Get that thumbs up for me. It helps the algorithm. Let's see. We've been on about an hour and 20 minutes. I usually go about an hour and a half. I've gone through my topics. So it's pretty open right now. So say for the next 10 minutes, open forum. You guys have any other questions or comments that I can answer for you? I know Gio's coming out here in late July. Yeah, he and I are actually going to Cambodia together. And so Gio, just so you know, my visa will expire August 1st, and that's with my 30-day extension. So we need to get out of Thailand before then. So hopefully that doesn't put a wrench in your plans. I know you're coming like the last week in July. So if we can get to Cambodia before the 1st of July or 1st of August, that'd be great. So just let me know. We'll talk. But yeah, that would be perfect. The timing would be perfect then. And then I'll come back here and get my 60 days when I come back. It'll be my first ground visa run. I've only done air. I've never done ground. I assume we're taking a bus or a train or something, right? Unless you want to fly, I don't know. That's up to you. I'll just kind of tag along with what your plans are. But yeah, let me know what your plans are. But as far as I'm excited, Cambodia, I've never been there, so that'll be neat. Kenneth Dumas, I think the best city, country to live in Southeast Asia depends on the individual. Also, the specific location within the country is important. Yeah, absolutely. Like me, I've become a city guy, so I like living in Bangkok. I like the big city. But I really did like Da Nang, Vietnam. And that's 1.5 million people, but it didn't feel like 1.5 million. It felt like a small community, and you're right on the beach. It's so neat. So yeah, it just kind of depends on what you want to do. Yeah, true. But I don't know if there's a flight into Siem Reap or not, but that's up to Gio. The base, yes, I have. It looks like a neat place, perfect area because it's right close to the BTS. But if you want, I can do some recon for you before you get out here, and I can go check it out if you want. Maybe do a video if that's one of the places you're kind of looking at. as a possibility. I would also I would help you out there if you want. So, so you're going to Cambodia. What's the first city on your list? So we got 3 planned: Siem Reap. Well, 2 planned, I guess. Siem Reap, and then we want to go to Angkor Wat, and then Phnom Penh. Those are the places that I know of for sure that are on the list. So everything else is kind of open, and I'm not. I'm kind of like I'm in the same boat as Gio. When I go places, I always get like a one-way ticket. I don't do a round trip. I keep the return flight open-ended or return trip open-ended, because that way, if I want to stay longer, I can, or if I want to cut it short, if I'm bored, I can do that too. So that's kind of how I work things out. So I have not been to Nha Trang. I heard Nha Trang was really nice, but I've not been there. Next time I go to Vietnam will probably be in, let's see, if I come back here in August, it'll be August, September, probably October. I might go to Vietnam in October, but I haven't decided yet for sure. It's kind of open-ended, depending on the weather, because that's getting close to that rainy season in Vietnam. In Da Nang, it's, if I go there, I'll go to Da Nang first, and Da Nang can get pretty nasty and pretty cold in that rainy season. So, but I haven't decided yet. But I will. Nha Trang will be on my list if I go back there, or when I go back there. And then around here, there's been other places I haven't been. Claire calls you JJ the lonely boy. I am. I am the lonely boy right now. I need to do something about that. I'm interested in that place. But yeah, definitely. I'll go. I'll check into it and see if I can get a tour set up and do a video for you, Gio, and then I'll post that. So you know. But yeah, that looks like a neat area and a neat condo. So I'll definitely check that out in the near future before you get here. I'll do that before you get here. So I know you're heading to the U.S. soon, and then you'll be back here toward the end of July. So Gio, are we flying to Cambodia, or what's your plan? What's your thought? Just curious. I'm open to whatever you have in mind. And would we go into Siem Reap first, or would we go to Phnom Penh? Just kind of curious. I have to see if there's a flight to Siem Reap or not. Looks like there is. So it looks like one-way ticket to Siem Reap in late July is about $85. That's one way. That seems a little high. I wonder if it's because it's Siem Reap. I wonder if we flew into Phnom Penh, if it would be cheaper, and then went to Siem Reap from there. Yeah, flying into Phnom Penh from Bangkok is like $50. So we're saving a little bit of money. So just spitballing there, Gio. Let's see. Flynn says, I drove from Bangkok to Siem Reap. I would recommend flying. Crossing the land border can be a bit of a hassle. Okay. All right. Good to know. Have you ever posed a problem not having a return flight when entering? So I always get a throwaway ticket. And this is one of the tips that I got from Gio before I even moved out here. but I use onwardticket.com, and I can post that on here. I'm typing without my glasses on, so hopefully onwardticket.com. So I have a return flight, costs like $16 to get a throwaway ticket, just in case. I've only been asked one time the entire 10 years I've been traveling to the Philippines and back, or Southeast Asia. And that was the first time I flew to the Philippines, when I was at the Dallas airport. I think it was Dallas, maybe in Chicago. They asked me at the airport, they asked me if I had a return ticket. And I did, because I was just traveling like a 2-week thing, and so I had a round trip ticket. So I showed her my return ticket. I've never been asked since then. And even coming here or coming to the Philippines on a one-way ticket with my plan to stay more than the 30 days or the 60 days or whatever, I've never been asked. But I will tell you that, at least with me, the way my luck is, the minute I didn't get a throwaway ticket, I would be asked. That's just how my luck is. So, yeah, use that throwaway ticket if you can. And that way, you got your bases covered just in case. So they're onwardticket.com. So, no problem, Gio. Yeah, flying. Yeah. So to Phnom Penh, it's cheaper. It's you're saving about at least $20 one way. So, and then I don't know how long a trip it is from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap, but I'll bet you the flights are cheaper if we flew. I don't know. I'll have to. We'll figure this out. But yeah, Phnom Penh is cheaper. So cool. What else? Any other questions? Any other comments you guys have? It's been a fun time. I still got 22 on board. I know it's not 300 or 200, but that's all right. We're a close knit group. It's been fun. I'm enjoying these Sunday morning coffees. It's been fun, and I think I'll continue to do once a week. It seems like if I keep doing once a week, I'm getting more and more people each time. So we'll see. Your return ticket is visible to the immigration office when you walk up, so they don't need to ask. How is it? I'm talking about if you don't have a return ticket and you just get a throwaway ticket. Because if you just do one way, you don't have a return ticket. So I don't know how immigration would know that. So. But this was back in 2015 when they asked me. So who knows? Flynn, I was asked for a return ticket when entering Vietnam. Really? Okay. How long ago was this? That's interesting, because I know, well, everybody does it now. Every country I've been into has those E visas you got to fill out. And you've got to, I always do, when I go to Vietnam, I always do multiple entry. I pay the $50 for the 90-day multiple entry. That way I can come and go. That way if I come there and I need to leave, or I want to go somewhere else, and then come back, I don't have to apply for a new visa. I got the old one. So, but that's just me. But yeah, interesting. I don't know why I've never been asked, just that one time. But they usually will ask you before you leave to go to the country. They usually ask you there rather than when you arrive. I think that's usually what they do. So your onward ticket counts as a return ticket. They see it as a return ticket. Big risk if you don't use it. Right. That's why I always use it. Yeah, I always use an onward ticket. But I'm saying that the one time I was asked, I had a return ticket, but they asked me to see it. So, of course, that was in 2015. So maybe they didn't have the technology back then to be able to see my return flight. Edwin, JJ, yes, keep live coming weekly. You're always very informative. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that, Edwin. You're welcome. I try to be. I answer the questions I know. If I don't know the answer, then I will tell you I don't know the answer. And hopefully somebody on the chat will know the answer, because that's always good. If we get people on the chat that know, that helps out a lot too. So, and I've got smarter people on the chat than me, that's for sure. So anyway, let's see. So about an hour and 35 minutes in. Let's wrap this up, guys. We've been just over an hour and a half. I don't know how my camera's doing as far as battery life, but I think it's probably okay. But it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And we'll get on again next week. I've got a couple of new videos I'm planning to do, hopefully this week. One of them is going to be, I'll just kind of give you an idea of why I moved to BGC and why I left. And might be some things that you might not be aware of, some issues, some other things. But we may cover that. I got to do some more Bangkok stuff. It's been kind of a slow growth coming back to Bangkok, because when you lived in BGC like I have for almost 3 years, and the majority, I would say 90% of my YouTube content was about BGC in the Philippines, I grow that channel through that. When you start doing content from outside of that niche, say Thailand or Bangkok or even Vietnam or Da Nang, you're trying to hit a new audience, almost a new audience. So it's been a really slow growth, and so my views are down, but that's okay. So I'll keep doing videos that pertain to Thailand, Bangkok, but also pertain to what I know about the Philippines or what I know about Vietnam, and just my life in general, my experiences here in Southeast Asia. So I'll keep doing those things too. So hopefully that's something that you guys will enjoy. And, hopefully we'll keep growing and growing the community. And if you guys are in Bangkok or in Thailand, let me know. And I would love to meet up with you guys. And if you're planning on traveling, good luck with your travels. If you noticed, I don't have my splint anymore, or my bandage. Now, if you see that finger, I still don't have full movement on it. I can bend it about this far, these two fingers, and I can straighten it up about like that. If you're not aware, I broke these two fingers about 8 weeks ago in the Philippines. I tripped it and fell when one of the famous Philippine sidewalks jumped up and bit me, and I tripped and fell and landed on it and broke these two fingers. So it was not fun. So I had to wear this big old splint I was supposed to wear it for 12 weeks, but it's like, screw this. I'm not wearing that anymore. So I took it off, and then I wrapped it, and I just bandaged these two together. And I made if you've ever been to 7-Elevens anywhere in Southeast Asia and you order food, they give you these little wooden spoons and forks. So what I did is I cut off the end of it, and I used the handle part of the spoon as a splint, and I taped around it to keep my fingers together and straight. So I did that for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I got tired of it, and I took it off, and it's like, you can see it's still indented. It's still not good, but it's better than it was, and it's healing. But I'll probably never get full motion back in it. But it is what it is. So, I'm old. I think I'm doing pretty well. This is the only thing that's happened to me in my life. I think I'm doing okay. But anyway, so I'll let you guys go, and I'm going to take off. And thanks for joining us. And as always, live life, my friend. And we will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.